Labor productivity statistics measures the performance of the country's labor productivity, which is the main driver of the economic growth. Today, DOSM released labor productivity statistics for the second quarter of 2021, which measured as value added per employment and value added per hour worked. Malaysia's labor productivity, measured as value added per employment, rebounded strongly in second quarter 2021, recording a growth of 13.6% as compared to negative 0.4% in first quarter 2021. The value added per employment in this quarter was 22,117 ringgit Malaysia per person. During this quarter, Malaysia's economy surged 16.1% as against negative 0.5% in the previous quarter. Meanwhile, employment, which recorded a total of 15.2 million persons, improved by 2.2% as opposed to marginal negative growth of 0.04% in first quarter 2021. In the meantime, labor productivity per hour worked fell by 12.8% in this quarter from a positive growth of 0.4% in the preceding quarter with a value of 40 ringgit per hour. Total hours worked in this quarter increased to 33.2% from negative 0.8% in first quarter 2021 to record 8.3 billion hours worked. However, quarter-on-quarter was observed decline in total hours worked as the economy is still influenced by the rise of COVID-19 cases as well as stringent containment measures. Average hours worked in this quarter was 43 hours per week, larger than 40 hours per week recorded in second quarter 2020. Meanwhile, it was lower than 43.5 hours per week, which recorded in the previous quarter. Next, the labor productivity performance by economic sector. Labor productivity per employment for agriculture sector dropped 3.3% as against marginal growth of 0.9% in the preceding quarter, while employment increased 1.8%. In the meantime, labor productivity by hours worked declined 15.6%. Value added per employment for this sector was 12,793 ringgit Malaysia per person, while value added per hour worked was 24 ringgit Malaysia per hour. Mining and quarrying sector recorded an increase of 14.1% in labor productivity by value added per employment in this quarter. Meanwhile, labor productivity by hours worked continued to decline at negative 7.1%. Level of labor productivity employment for this sector was 322,554 ringgit Malaysia per person, while labor productivity per hour worked was 564 ringgit Malaysia per hour. Labor productivity as measured by value added per employment in manufacturing sector increased further to 23.2% after registering 5.5% in first quarter 2021. However, labor productivity per hour worked decreased 4.2% as compared to 8.1% in the preceding quarter. Level of labor productivity in second quarter 2021, which measured as value added per employment, was 31,700 ringgit Malaysia per person, while in terms of hours worked was 57 ringgit Malaysia per hour. In this quarter, labor productivity expressed as value added per employment for construction sector rebounded to 37.6%. In the meantime, labor productivity per hour worked decreased 7.8% from negative 8.6% posted in the last quarter. Level of labor productivity per employment was 9,057 ringgit Malaysia per person, while labor productivity per hour worked recorded 17 ringgit per hour. Measuring labor productivity per employment for services sector increased 11% as against negative 2.4% in the previous quarter. On the other hand, labor productivity per hour worked declined further to 15.9% after recording negative 1.5% in first quarter 2021. In terms of labor productivity level, value added per employment was 20,464 ringgit Malaysia per person. Meanwhile, value added per hour worked in second quarter 2021 for services sector was 37 ringgit per hour. Currently, Singapore and United States of America have released their labor productivity statistics for second quarter of 2021. Labor productivity per hour worked in Singapore increased 1.7% after recording 7.3% growth in the preceding quarter, while labor productivity per employment surged 16.7% as compared to 6.1% in the first quarter of 2021. Meanwhile, labor productivity per hour worked in United States of America increased 1.9% in this quarter with an average hours worked of 32.6 hours per week.